Welcome to the home of where the best stuff is the wet stuff, and the wet stuff is the best stuff. Welcome to Fishy Biz Aquatics. What's crack?
First of all, let's get this out the way. I'm the Biz, Fishy Biz Aquatics, and at Fishy Biz Aquatics on YouTube, you'll get an informative channel that's fun and amazing with one of the hottest live streams called The Hot Spot. You don't want to miss that on Mondays at 9. Plus, you can catch me at Aquashellas on panel, in person. Come chop it up with your boy, and always get greeted with the what's cracking, educating today's youth and the masses. Get at me, just a cool channel.
Fishy Biz Aquatics, professional aquatics with the amateur touch. So amateurs, yep, get that professional look.
Y'all must have forgot.
This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
Let's go!
How's it going?
We got Mexicali up here, man. Hey, I called like everybody. I called Shanna. I talked to the Dark Water crew. I was like, hey, anybody want to go on in my place? I am going through it. I talked to Shanna. Shanna, I am so sorry. Everybody send prayers out to Shanna. Shanna has the flu or something like that. Thank God it's not COVID. She got checked out. She was like, Biz, I'm supposed to go on with you today. I'm so sick. I was like, hey, yo, don't worry about it. But I was like, if you're that down and out, and I'm just a little tired, then I guess I gotta go.
Oh, it's that time of the year where the weather's changing. You know, it gets cold in the morning, warm in the day, and cold at night.
Yeah. Yeah, and in St. Louis, I'm talking about drastic drops. We talking about like from 75 to 25 overnight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my grandkids and my son have all gotten sick. My daughter, who lives in Vegas, was telling me she's just getting over the flu. So whatever it is, it's something that's going around. But, you know, it's flu season.
Yeah, it's all bad. I still wanted to come on because I had a great day. The students.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, the students were able to take they decorated their tanks and they are taking them home. They're going to set them up with the Fritz 7, and they have the water conditioner. They have their siphons. No, their siphons. No. They have their filters.
Okay.
They have their decor. And they're going to set their tanks up tonight. And I told them that they're going to have to send me some footage or video, or footage and video, so that I can show everybody. They were really getting into it. I just sent another video to specifically made for the Missouri Aquarium Society Incorporated. They donated a nice amount directly to the classroom, and I definitely wanted to showcase, you know, what's going on there.
Oh, okay. So how many kids have you been able to get tanks for?
Well, that was just my 7th hour, and I had 4 that were really wanting to do it, and then I had another 2 that wanted to take care of tanks in other classrooms, because I am doing that for students that can't take them home.
Mm-hmm.
And as they were doing it, I had kids calling home, seeing if they can get a tank also. So
okay.
out of that class, I ended up what started off as 4, ended off with 7. So I'll be doing the same thing in my other classrooms tomorrow. I'll be sending those tanks on out of there, getting some more footage, and showcasing that to all of you all.
So are those the first 7 tanks for students this year, or have you had other students already take tanks?
Yeah, those are the first ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
no, I was going to ask you. So is this like a classroom assignment or an extra credit project that they're working on for the ones that do decide to take it home?
This is because they're interested in it.
Yeah.
And it is. I will give them extra credit points because it did take a little time out of finishing up work, even though they still have to finish their work. But I didn't want to do it because they were getting extra credit. I wanted them to do it because it was something that they would be into and would be able to stick with. So while I'm starting off there, that's where I'm at right now. And if they need it, I told them I'll toss them a little something. So if they come up short on a project or need a few points or something like that.
Have you told them to keep a journal to see what's going on and what change? To see
you
what?
Said, am I keeping a journal?
No. Have you asked the kids to keep a journal? Like every day they observations and stuff.
Yeah, they have their ecology notebooks.
Okay.
They'll be recording their observations because they're going to find themselves looking at those tanks daily.
Okay.
If not hourly. So I tell you what, I just did 80% water changes in my 75 and my 60. And I came down today with dead fish, and I was like, "Holy, what did I do?" I noticed that one of my Denison bars, one of our roseline sharks, kept flipping on his back, and then flipping back over, and he flipped totally on his back, and I was like, "Is this something?" So I tried to Google it, and immediately it said roseline shark flips on his back right after water change. And I was like, what the heck? So I tried to read about it. I think it was like a fluke. I didn't really see like a lot of things happening. And then I was like, man, maybe because my water comes out cold and I was just trying to trickle acclimate. It's kind of running while I was kind of emptying the rest of the tanks and setting up this other 75 gallon and stuff like that. And next thing I know, it's like filled up, and I was like, man, I hope that water wasn't too cold. I do have 2 heaters in each of them, but I get back into my 75 gallon and my Eureka Red is just down and out, like he was done. I was down here this morning, everything looked fine, but I kind of also think that that's this starry night just taking them out. So I'm intently trying to set up this other 75 gallon just for the starry nights and the Bishers. Okay. And I'm gonna refill my other 75 with peacocks.
By any chance, did you see what the temperature was after the water change?
Say that again.
Did you check the temperature after the water change to see what the temperature was?
Yeah, I mean, it had got down to, they're used to 77, 78, and it got down to like 71, 69.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably like a me mistake. I really haven't did like an 80% change, water change totally, but my boy Mike and Caveman Aquatics, they both do it.
Yeah. Well, I do almost 100% water changes on mine, but is your basement heated or just the tank?
My basement has heat that comes through it. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to suggest that, because I know your water on the tap is going to be real cold.
Right.
I would buy one of those like 33-gallon trash cans and fill it up with water at least a day before, so that it comes up to room temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and your temperature swings won't be that drastic, and then you can get away with doing big water changes.
Yeah, that'll probably, and when Jay Watts told me that's how he does his water changes, and I had went to Lowe's to get one. I didn't like it. I was actually about to order. You know how the trash company gets you the Wendy Blues? I was going to order one from them, an extra one from them. I think it's like $15 or $10 extra. So,
yeah, that's going to be a lot cheaper because I think the Brute trash cans, they're almost $40, $50, somewhere around there, depending on where you get them.
Yeah. People, while you are here in the chat, for those of you all that have given to the turkey hunt, I also need to let you know that you will also be a part of. You also will be a part of the giveaway that will happen on the next Monday that's coming up, because that is when the students leave. Oh, wow. That is when the students leave. So they will be leaving on Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday, I have time to give turkeys away. Right now, I am on pace to beating that 55 turkeys from last year. Shout out to Shanna and Saturday Morning Cartoons with her and Jason. They were able to actually put me almost to that mark. Their viewership definitely hooked up the donation. So I have everybody's name here, and it will go into the wheel of names, the random wheel selector. And if you haven't seen it, which you guys probably have all seen it, but let me just tack it in here real quick. So the name will go in the wheel finder. It will get spun, and then ta-da! There it is. And straight like that, Riff Waters wants to be in it. Appreciate you, Riff Waters.
No sound machine today?
It is a year-long class, Lady Roar. YouTube question for you: which threshold did you get first, the 1,000 or the 4,000?
Watch hours.
Yeah, it's probably watch hours you'll hit.
Yeah,
first.
it's watch hours. That's what he said.
Yeah, it's the watch hours you'll hit first.
Well, depends, because if you live stream, you'll probably hit it quicker. If you're just doing content.
Yeah. And I hadn't live streamed a lot when I first came out. I was just going content only, and then they were like, if you do live streams, that'll work. But thank you, Riff Waters. Your $10 will be added to the turkey fund. For those of you guys still giving, man, see if you guys cannot do the PayPal or Cash App so I can get it and put it with the monies now instead of YouTube taking it, and then I'll get it next month. Is this my guy?
Hey, John, how's it going?
What's up? I thought you were joking. I was like, man, did I see this?
Is my audio okay and everything? Because
oh yeah,
it's a new way.
You sound great, man. You sound great, John Hudson.
What's up?
Thanks for showing up, Thunder Aquatics. Thanks, bro. We're rocking. Thank you so much. What's up, John? Is that a Taco Bell Baja Blast you're drinking? What's that?
No, it's a Pepsi.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've been painting for the last 3 hours. which is why I got stuff all over me. But I saw you in here. I said, you know what? He's been asking me over and over and over. I always tell him no. So I'm tired. I was out till 3 a.m. last night, and I'm barely hanging on. But I figured I'd come in and say hi.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. You and me both. I just put on Instagram my students putting their tanks together. Let me tell you something, John. I know that when you get a new tank and you know exactly what you want to do with it, or even if you don't, it's super exciting, right? It's still, you still got that child boyish part of you that just gets giddy, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
but seeing 7 students do the same thing all at once, and then seeing the kids that said, "No, I don't want a tank," start thinking about, you know what? I don't want a tank. I'm talking about they started putting their hands in these other kids' tanks. I was like, yo. And then they started claiming the tank as theirs. I was like, man, this is it just felt good. You know what I'm saying?
That's the goal behind the whole thing, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
that's awesome. I mean, I'm super happy for you. I know that's what you've wanted this
Yeah.
whole time, so that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the end game right there. Get those kids in here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think the bigger part for me is to get them to stay in here. So like, I think my new motto is like to make students become great fish keepers by starting them good fish keeping.
Pound that cycle into their head, brother.
Yeah, if
Because
they
that's-
can, if they can start keeping fish, become good, have good fish keeping tips, good fish keeping ways, then they'll start seeing these fish survive. Then they'll start getting interested in more fish, and then they're off they go, man.
Adults struggle enough with getting through that first month of the hobby, but kids change their mind on stuff so fast
Yeah.
that, if they have their tank crashes during the cycle and their fish die, they're just going to be like, whatever, I want to do something else, so
Yeah.
that would be the biggest thing I'd pound into their head is understanding this is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. You're prepared for it. You know what to do. Then they don't have that catastrophic failure right off the bat.
Absolutely. Here's one of my students here. Will the climate change affect school fish in one way or another?
Climate change.
Temperature, I'm assuming.
I think she's talking about because we're going to be getting some inclement weather. Ortiz, she's saying that we might have to go virtual if we get some inclement weather snow wise, and I guess she's talking about will it affect the school fish, the fish in the school?
Well, you're the one that's in the school, so that's a question for you.
Well, I tell you what, I think the only thing that we'll mess up on is if we lose power in the school. That is probably be a big deal. Everything else has heaters that needs to have heaters. The guppies are room temperature, which stays at about good 72 for them, and they seem to be doing really well. Everything else, angelfish, cichlids, Jack Dempsey's, they all have heaters, so I think we'll be good. And I haven't seen the school lose power too much, but they do have spotty electric. Sometimes like the back refrigerator will go off for like a month and no one realizes it over the summer, but their classrooms are still pretty good after that. So
Well, in most schools, don't they have like generators and stuff like that too?
supposedly, but I don't know what goes on. We're our custodians are like a third party outsource. They seem to be doing whatever. I don't know if the hand is talking to the face or however that goes. So yeah, it seems nuts.
I know just in my experience, I've not set foot in a single school here in North Carolina because all of our kids are out of school. But in Virginia, you could go into a school in the middle of summer when everybody's been home for a month and a half, and they would still have the AC running hard, and it would be cold in there. And so year round they keep that heat on, and I mean it gets much colder there.
Yeah, yeah.
I would imagine it'd be fine, as like you said, as long as the power doesn't go out.
They only have 2 settings, so when it's cold, they turn on the heat, and that heat's staying on. So you gotta layer up to come in the building, take that joint off when you get in the building, and then in the summertime, that AC's blowing. So that's it. They don't, they don't adjust. We in our rooms we have individual thermostats, but the kids play with them so much. I honestly think they just put them up there for decoration, because I've never seen it. Mr. Clark, it's hot in here. No, I'm cold. Hey, stop touching the damn thing. Just leave it alone.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe if you guys are knowing that you guys are going to get some inclement weather, I would suggest to talk to your students about what they can do if they get a power outage, as far as trying to conserve the heat within the tanks, like draping a heavy blanket over it till the power comes back, so they don't rapidly lose heat. Little tips that you can give them, so that if something like that happens over the break, they're prepared to deal with it.
Yeah, especially this time of year. I'm pretty sure there's some videos out that I know John put a video out, 1 or 2, about power outages and whatnot. But yeah, absolutely. Definitely some troubleshoot stuff, especially at this time of year. I didn't think that we would be hitting inclement weather until I got the email today, and I was like, man, I thought they just said like 2 inches. 2 inches on the news turns into 6 inches in real life. Like, it's like, man. So yeah, so there it is. What you got big up, John? What's next for you?
A whole bunch of things I can't talk about.
I knew that. That's why I asked you.
I mean, it's not secret government. It's not anything crazy, but I got a couple things that are being worked on right now that that'll be pretty big. But it's one of those things I have no idea when it's going to happen, because
as big as the greatest beta mechanic source ever in the world.
Well, I can't say it would be better than that, but no, I mean, I've got some plans with a couple other creators, and one in particular that I work with a lot, and it may involve us getting a new tank, and also might involve us going on a trip that would be a fish trip that would be one to blow people's minds. So, but it's one of those things, I could tell you if we were not in front of 48,000 people here on the stream, but I can't put it out there yet to the masses. But it's going to be a big deal if it happens. You still haven't asked me why. I'm 48 years old. I've got 3 grandkids. You haven't asked me why I was out till 3 o'clock in the morning last night.
I was, what? In my head, I was thinking, but when I heard you say you were painting, I thought maybe that had all went into the same evening. So, since it didn't, hold on, let me adjust this.
What in the world?
There we go. All right. I was looking a little fuzzy.
That is disturbing.
There, better. All right. Tell us about your 3 o'clock outing.
I splurged for my wife, and she can attest to this if she's in the chat. There's so many people in the chat. I have no idea if she's in there. I bought her tickets to go see Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And we saw him front row. If I knew if there was a way to do screen shares, I would show you. I took a picture at the very end so that I wouldn't get kicked out when he was basically waving to everybody. But the coolest, that was great. I grew up on Adam Sandler, so
I love Adam Sandler.
He's a god to me. But the coolest thing about it was he brought out David Spade and Rob Schneider.
Oh,
that's his crew. That's his crew.
Yep. So got to see all 3 of those guys in one show. That was awesome. And being in the front row, that was ridiculous. I've never been in the front row of anything ever.
That's
and
dope.
So that was a big deal. To look behind me and see 20,000 people, and I'm like, I'm right here. What?
That's dope.
But that was in Raleigh, which is 2.5 hours away. Show didn't end until almost 11. Then there's traffic, and yeah, it was a long night, but absolutely worth it.
Okay, Ortiz, I will see you in class. You take it easy. She calls me Mr. Biz on here. I love it. She calls me Mr. Clark in class and Mr. Biz. I think she messed up one time and called me Mr. Biz in class. It's funny. I have not seen Adam Sandler as far as a stand-up goes, but I know that he does like a little silly zany song rhyme. Did that go on? Did he get that in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
With Schneider, it was straight up stand-up, and then David Spade, same thing. He just did a whole stand-up routine. With Adam Sandler, it's about 50-50. It's 50-50 him telling jokes, and the other half is him singing jokes. And he's surprisingly good as a singer. I mean, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And he played on the guitar Are You Lonesome Tonight from Elvis, and Rob Schneider came out and sang it, and it blew my mind. He sang that song as good as Elvis did. It was incredible. I had no idea that Rob Schneider could sing, but he absolutely can, and he nailed it. It was unbelievable. So, but yeah, he's a completely unique as far as being on stage. He's not going up there playing the character of Billy Madison the whole time. He's up there telling stories, and then he's singing songs, and it was wonderful. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember he had pulled out the guitar, and everything he was saying, the pictures were popping up behind him. I forgot what that was. It was super dope. I was bugging up. But I'm like them in everything. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore is my go-to. Waterboy just never gets old.
You know the guy in his movies, he was in Waterboy, and I think he was in Big Daddy. The real big white guy that has the crooked eyes, like his eyes are out all over the place.
Yeah.
He was there too. He's like a roadie, like handing Adam Sandler the microphone and stuff like that. And
is he the one that was like? Yeah.
There was two guys that did that, but yeah, that's his character. He's always and his eyes are always weird.
Mm-hmm.
He came out to hand Sandler a live streaming camera, actually, and Sandler was carrying it around and showing the crowd and stuff like that. And he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is whatever his name is." And he took the microphone and did that thing with his eyes, and he was like, "Brr, brr, brr." It was funny. I was like, "Wow, we get to see that guy too. That's cool."
What time did the show start?
8:00.
Until 3, y'all kicked it?
No. I mean, it took us 2.5 hours to get home.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you said it's in Raleigh. Okay, all right, that's right. All right.
The show was well over 2 hours because they had 2 comedians come out before the rest of them did, and they only did like 10 minutes apiece. And one of them is actually a current Saturday Night Live cast member, which that show's dog shit. I don't watch it anymore, but she's on there. And then I didn't mean to just curse. I'm sorry. And then Schneider came out, and then Spade, and then Sandler.
It's only 4,800 people now.
Sorry about that. I just got you demonetized. I apologize.
No, some of the stuff we say on here is wild. You're good. Dave Chappelle was on there this Saturday Night Live. I had to watch his monologue.
I have watched that. Sometimes I'll watch monologues depending on who it is. I've never watched the show live ever since the Sandler days. You know, I watched a little bit of it with Will Ferrell, but the Sandler, Chris Farley, David Spade, Rob Schneider days, that was it for me. And after that, it's like not even worth watching.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
I didn't derail your show, though. Sorry about that. I just really wanted to tell somebody about that.
No, this was an impromptu for myself because I sure was about to hit the snoozer. I just was like, I gotta get up here and say something. But Thunder Aquatic says that your pics on IG of the Sandler show are pretty cool, so I need to go check you out on their front row. He said the front row looks so awesome from there. So
yeah, it was it was unbelievable. I mean, I've never been front row for anything, and then to be front row for Adam Sandler. I mean, come on, that's
It
crazy.
works. No, it definitely works. Mexicali, you got anything new you can share that you got coming on?
Nah, just the stream that Steve and I do on Saturdays. We're, if I'm not mistaken, our guest for this Saturday is going to be the president of the Greater Houston Aquarium Society,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be another good stream.
That's Saturday coming up.
Yeah, this Saturday coming up.
All right.
We've been very fortunate because we had Coventry a couple of streams ago, and then we had Dr. Anthony this last one, and this gentleman that's coming on this time around. I mean, they've been really interesting. I've learned a lot. I mean, I've just from just hearing what they've done, stuff about the hobby. It's been very informative for me. So
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah, it's also it's according to Aquafunk, it's gonna be also do my reveal.
Regender or something. He said that's what John's big
Yeah, he
plans
has a
were
problem.
earlier.
I think that's really what Aquafunk wants to do, but he's kind of projecting it on other people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. I agree 100%. That idiot.
He's just looking for support.
He's just
That's
upset 'cause he's 3 feet tall and we're all normal size people.
I say it all the time. I tell him all the time. You haven't heard my little jingle for him, have you?
No.
Not.
So, first you get yourself some meat, then you boil it with some heat, then you shove it in a bun. Now Aquafunk is every fun.
Nice. That's good stuff.
What's going on, Melly Mel? Oh, John. So I been talking to Steve Five, man.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry for
No. So look, me and Bob, if he makes it to an Aquashella, this is big if. Because after he said if he does, he started dissing it because he was like, why do they still have you available to buy tickets to the last year's Aquashella? Like, who does he was like complaining about who does it's just an easy thing to just delete that off. And let me see if I can actually buy it. Okay, you can't actually buy it, but why is it still here on the website? It just seems so simple. I was like, you know what? Never mind. But me and him versus you and your wife, Cornhole, or you in prime time. I finally got a partner.
You don't want that. First of all, well, you don't want Bob on your team because Bob can't do anything right. And second of all, do you realize that I and any team that I've ever been a part of have never lost at an Aquashella cornhole event? Not one game have we lost.
This was my first time playing. I just had 2 amateurs, man, back to back. I give me somebody that can get it in that hole, man. That's what she said.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, listen. Bring it on. Come on. Let's do it. I mean, I'll continue undefeated streak. I don't care who my teammate is. Lisa was burying them in Chicago. You were there.
Hey, John. You need to get Ryan to be your teammate because by the time he let go of that beanbag, it'll be right over the hole.
Hey, let me tell you something. I thought of that, and I don't know what the problem is. Look, I got Whip's World. Whips is taller than me, and his arm span. I was like, Whips, all we have
just
to
reach
do
over and drop it in the hole. Big giants.
Whips was like, I honestly haven't played this, but let's give it a try. I was like, dude, all you got to do is just hit the board and or hole. Hopefully a hole. And he was like, he was throwing this to the ceiling. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? You can practically just bowl it. Like,
yeah, you say that, but as a professional, I would tell you that there is significantly more skill involved, especially when the boards are regulation distance apart and not only maybe 20 feet apart like they are in the YouTube booth.
Yeah, I was wondering. That was super close. We're going to have to get some regulations going on. Yeah.
And if you want it to be a real match, you're gonna have to do that, and then I'll really show you how to play.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'll show you too. I'll show
All
you
right.
how. I'll show you how we be balling here in St. Louis.
I've seen you play. You think I'm scared of you? I know you ain't practicing in St. Louis weather out there. No way.
You can play.
I can play
man.
in North Carolina, Jack. I can play all year round.
And look, we don't have Busch Stadium Ballpark Village for nothing. We've got a heated cornhole on turf. You don't even have to. You can pull your shoes off, baby, and get it hillbilly style.
All right, put in the work, and I'll show you how to do it once you get to the next Aquashella.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
I get free lessons.
Okay. All right.
Once again, I've never lost. I can stop now, and my career was undefeated. And if I was in the barn right now, which I'm not, I could show you my trophy that's this tall from the King George County Championships that my ex-brother-in-law and I won. You want to play around, we'll play.
Here. Hey, look, you're gonna let a guy from Nellyville come and take your crown, baby. You better. It's gonna happen. I'm not gonna quit. It's gonna happen.
That's fine. If we need to play 18 games before you win one, I'll do that. That's no problem.
Oh, he's really landed on things. This guy is such a competitor. I love it.
Drew, you can do that. I mean, listen, I've never lost. I can keep saying it. It's true.
I'm calling all cornholers out there, man. I am the great cornholio in a second here. Okay, I need somebody to come rock with me real quick to take this guy down.
I've played with him. If you don't want to be embarrassed, don't show up.
Yeah, I've seen the footage.
First of all, when you saw the footage, you see me knock that joint down and become the great cornholio right there. I mean, you didn't see the other three, but
that's the magic of editing. I saw you toss it, but it was somebody else that landed it in that cornhole.
Man, the dude's wife was nailing him. Oh my God, Lisa was killing it.
Listen, I'm undefeated in cornhole at Aquashella events. I'm also undefeated in ping pong. So whatever you want to do, man.
That's questionable. Bob Steenfot says they let you kind of get that off, and it still was questionable. It wasn't regulation. The pongs weren't good. The pings weren't great. The nets were off. The table was short. All kinds of stuff they were coming up with.
And you know what? If I was embarrassed like he was, I would have made all the same excuses. The same thing. Listen, I played Corey. I smoked him too. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't cry about it like a little. He took the loss.
He didn't whine, huh?
He shook my hand and he said, "Hey, good job." That's what a true sportsman does.
Yeah.
Bob, no, you can't.
He doesn't have the best sportsmanship.
No. He's very competitive. He just is not good at losing. And unfortunately, when he plays me, that's what he does, is he loses. So, whatever.
I'll play, but don't look at me crazy if I throw the thingy at people. Just calling it thingy doesn't allow you on the cornhole court.
Hey, but how is Aquafunk going to play if those beanbags are as big as him?
Oh, Aquafunk can't play. He probably wouldn't be able to make it all the way across. I mean, the board is high for him.
And he's Puerto Rican and probably eat the beanbag because
it's actually corn. If it's a true cornhole bag, it's actually corn that's in there. But he'd probably like that too. So
yeah, it's even better. He'll eat the corn bag.
Yeah, people can say everything they want to say, but my record speaks for itself. I don't even need to say anything about it.
The ping pong debate rages on. I roll with John on this one, just because I don't really know Steamfight like that.
Bob knows that I absolutely adore him. It's all in fun, but I did smoke him. I mean, he had a lead on me for a little while.
Okay.
Very brief. And then, I had to loosen up. I'm not very athletic, and so I needed to get myself loose, and then once I loosened up, it was game on from there. It was a close game, but I ended up victorious, and
That's all that matters, isn't it?
that's it.
I scored 5 and you scored 6. I lost, right?
With him was a lot closer than the game with Corey, but I ain't trying to brag, but those guys talk a lot of trash, and they weren't that night.
You had to shut them down.
That's
I like
right.
it. I like it. I like it when the underdog pushes forward, man, and becomes virtuous, victorious.
Why I gotta be an underdog? I mean, my record is
In ping pong, your record is stellar too.
I'm undefeated. What are you talking about?
Still? Wait a minute. This is in ping pong. You were? I thought you were like claiming you were, and then they were claiming they were. So you had to go play them to make sure that you guys were. I didn't know that you were undefeated in ping pong. Also,
I'm gonna break some news here to you. Okay, I played Bob lost. I played Corey lost. This other dude that we didn't know, he was one of the vendors. He was there, started running his mouth. So they were like, all right, John, you play that guy. I beat him too. I think the score was like 21-9 or something.
T-Rex Army.
Undefeated. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Undefeated is my record.
there it
At
is.
ping pong.
You can have ping pong. I'm no good at looking at that little ball, hitting it with a paddle. We could do pickleball.
I don't even know what that is, but I'd probably be good at it.
Hey, he's on here talking big smack today, you guys.
Like I said, when you earn, and I did say earn, an undefeated record, you can talk all the smack you want.
That's how it goes. It's
Comes
like
with
Afro Samurai. Only the number 2 could go after the number 1. Everybody else doesn't matter.
It's true. And on the topic of undefeated, I did want to say my stepdaughter's field hockey team going into the playoffs, 13-0 in their division. We went to their game on Saturday. They smoked this team 7-0. Unbelievable. Super proud of her. She's going to the playoffs Friday, and then if they win in their playoffs in their conference, they go to the NCAAs in Seattle. So
nice.
Yes.
And this is daughter, niece? What'd you say?
My stepdaughter. I call her my daughter because I've had her since she was 5.
Sure.
But yeah, Lisa's daughter. She's a junior in college and scholarship field hockey player. So
there it is. This is not the one that is TikTok famous.
Yeah, same one.
Oh, same one. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So hey, she's pulling it in from all ends. TikTok famous, star field hockeyer.
I found out as far as being TikTok famous, we were talking about it after the game we went out to dinner, and I was like, I don't know why you're not doing TikToks all the time. You're talented. People like them. You can make money because she's a college student.
Yeah.
Because of playing field hockey, she can't work and go to school and play field hockey. So I'm like, you should be doing those. And she's like, I didn't want to do those because I thought you were offended by them. I'm like, if you were taking your clothes off, then I would be. But you're telling silly jokes, and you're making money at it, and you have almost as many followers as Lisa and I do. Do it. I mean, you're not hurting my feelings. I think the jokes she tells are funny. She does pickup lines, acting like she's the guy, and it's hilarious.
Oh, that's tight.
And
That's cool.
she's afraid it's a little bit too risque. I'm like, listen, you're 19. You're 20 now. Actually, you're 20. Do whatever you want to do.
Just be 20. Go ahead.
That's right.
Which brings up a interesting question. Notice that you have been doing more Instagram, a little bit more. You've definitely been doing more YouTube shorts because you definitely pop up when. Did I still subscribe to you? Yeah. So,
What kind of a question is that?
I had to ask myself. So my question is this: have you been seeing YouTubers follow your Instagram, or have you been seeing Instagram people come over to YouTube? Which way is it going? And then I'm gonna bring TikTok in there somewhere.
You know what? It's hard to say. I would say that that YouTube people come from YouTube to Instagram,
Okay.
but we haven't really looked into it all that much. Lisa, I got to be honest. When it comes to Instagram, it's all Lisa. It's not me. None of it. And Jason from Primetime. I hate saying that. Everybody knows it's Jason from Primetime. I hate saying Jason. Him and I, we meet every week to talk about YouTube stuff, and we've been doing experiments.
It could be Jason from Crystal Lake. We don't know.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, whatever. But everybody knows Jason and I are good friends. And if I say Jason, I'm not talking about Jason Bateman or, But anyway, we've been in experiments with shorts. And then he started experimenting on Instagram too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when Lisa started putting up reels like, okay, well, let's try that out. Let's see what it does. And it's all just to, expand and to keep going with it.
Sure.
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm glad.
No, what I was going to say, what my experience has been with Instagram, there's a whole different group of people that are in the hobby that don't necessarily follow YouTube. So at the end of the day, really what it's doing is creating exposure and putting you out there. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people here on your live stream right now that I've met through Instagram, and they've gravitated over here to YouTube. So, as much as you can get out there, the more. I just started TikTok, and I'm already up to 800. So, and it's a whole other group of other people that I've, it's just there's different depending on what part of the world you're in. They favor one platform over the other. And so it's just exposure. The more you get out there, the more people see you, the more eventually it's going to bring them together. So, I say if you could do it, why not? It doesn't cost anything to do it.
Yeah.
And you could take the same material you're doing for YouTube and put it on these other platforms.
And even though, the reels are the ones that go and they can be anywhere between 15 and a minute long, you could take sections of your YouTube video out, or you could do specific reel just for Instagram and use that same one for TikTok. I've got quite a few TikTok followers because I was actually I got on TikTok because of my students, and I just really was just going to do that was going to be my release away from the whole fish. But I guess if you use Fishy Biz Aquatics, that's really not going to happen. But I started I put up a piece of a video, and it went 1.6 million just flat out. And I was like, holy moly, now what I do? Give them fish videos, and that's not what they were looking for. So it and I think with TikTok, it really doesn't. You don't have to stay on the genre. You can. I mean, I guess unless you want to, but they're looking for that quick fix of funny, or that quick fix of skit, or something interesting, some aha something, or some quick drama or something like that. So
I personally think, and I could totally, I'm not saying this based on data. I'm saying this just based on my gut instinct. I think that what people are looking for on TikTok and on YouTube is vastly different than what they're looking for on Instagram when it comes to shorts. I think with shorts and TikTok, you just kind of summed it up. I think they're looking for funny, dramatic, spontaneous, exciting, boom, 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 boom kind of thing, which I'm not very good at. That's what is going to build the short audience. If you look at the people in our niche that have been successful, they're doing fast-paced, exciting, fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to TikTok or YouTube Shorts to learn anything. I think they're going there to see something fun and exciting and a little thrill ride. Mm-hmm. With Reels, I think it's kind of an anything goes kind of a crowd. You can do the educational stuff, the species profile spotlights and things like that, and I think it would do well, but maybe not as much on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, because I think there's a very specific type of content people are looking for on those platforms. But I could be completely wrong. I'm just saying that what I think, and that's why shorts haven't been very successful for us.
Yeah, I ran across one of Prime Time's either Instagram or TikTok, one or the two, and he has the same voice, and it was the same type of content except just shorter, and I was like, I'm watching, of course, because I rock with Jason. I think he has a cool voice, but I was sitting there, I was like, I wonder how this goes over now. If his YouTube followers hit him on Instagram, he'll get that same viewership. But if you're pulling from a different platform that seeks a different you, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Then do you make that change to get that, or do you stay the course?
Well, why do you have to be different though?
Why does it have to be a different?
No, why do you have to be different? Why can't you just be who you are? Because it's a lot easier to be who you are than trying to be something else.
Well, no. When I mean a different you, I mean a different
style of content.
Yeah, a different way of seeing seeing. Because if you're doing YouTube, some people aren't in the camera. Maybe they're showcasing their tanks. They're giving you the facts, this, that, and the third, this and the third. When you see Instagram, you can definitely do the same thing. But when I'm looking at Instagram and I'm looking at TikTok, I'm seeing a lot of people, like actual people. They're doing something, or it's something that it's more than just what YouTube would give you. It's a shortened version, but it sometimes could be. It seems like it's more personal, maybe, or more. To me, it seems like that. Like I start watching some TikToks, and then I start watching, like I'll click on it and watch more, just for the simple fact that. And I'm a comedian, so I like funny stuff and upbeat and stuff like that. And if it is like a couple doing funny couple stuff, I'm clicking on that. That's hilarious to me, or whatever. Or if it's somebody that is pick like a scene from Chris Tucker in Money Talks, and he's imitating that, and he's I'm watching that. It's more I want to say personal, but I wouldn't see that typically on YouTube technically, so that's what I mean, like not a different you, but a different, I guess, like John was saying, a different style of you creating different style of stuff, maybe.
Yeah, we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've been running experiments. You can look in our community. There are a couple of people who have absolutely exploded because of their shorts. Caveman's one of them. I mean, and it's because they're doing it well. They're doing shorts really well. I haven't found that formula and I don't necessarily care if I do find the formula. I mean, we found our formula for the main content that we do, and
yeah.
That's always going to be the priority. But
yeah,
but I do think for expansion, for growth, I can't say yet that it's a good strategy, because I do think that there's different people looking for that. Like, I don't know how much it'll help long form stuff, but then again, I haven't been doing it long enough to really know. If you look at Aquarium Info, she built her whole following on shorts, and now when she puts up a long form video, it gets 1 million views. So
immediately that's where they're coming from.
I feel like it's a good strategy, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet.
There's nothing wrong with dipping your toe in a different pool, man. Like, just to see what it does. I mean, you've amassed quite an audience, doing the things that you're doing, and it doesn't seem like it's broke. So, taking it to a different platform still might work for you. But also it'll give you a chance to, try something out that you may have wanted to do that you knew probably wouldn't work on this side. I mean, you guys had the Days of Our Lives thing rocked. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could be like sketch comedy gold, because I just love doing stuff like that. And all I do is watch different sketches and try to put it in a fish sense and see where I would want to go with it. and which way I would platform would I start it on, because I just think I have a lot more of that to give also.
I'll
But
tell you a suggestion on that. I know you do the voiceovers for the animals. If you do them on TikTok, the minute you put them on there, it automatically posts it to your Instagram. So
yeah, I noticed that. I
so
don't know
so
what button I
I
pushed, or was that a default? Because
no, it gives you an option. It's Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp, and some other platform that I don't know. But you can select, and it'll automatically share it for you. And
yeah,
and I think those TikTok is perfect for the little voiceover sketches that you do, because that falls right into that audience that is for the stuff they're looking, and it'll also put it up on your Instagram.
and you know what? I put it all in a reaction vid playlist on YouTube, and it just didn't get the response I thought it would get. And I was like, man, maybe I'm not funny. I put it, and I did a couple of them on TikTok, and it went crazy. And I was like, maybe I am funny.
I do know that things are going to change in a big way with YouTube Shorts, because YouTube wants to take down TikTok. I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
and if anybody can do it, they can, except for maybe Elon Musk probably could too. But there's going to be big changes, and it's going to be changing. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I've been reading the way that they're going to try to, pay for the shorts for creators. It seems very interesting.
I want the experiment that's happening right now is Jason is putting up the same content on YouTube Shorts as he does Reels, and that's being done intentionally. When Lisa and I put up stuff, I'm trying to do original stuff for Shorts, and we're doing original stuff for Reels. So that's kind of like we can take our info and go back and forth with each other and figure out what's going to be best. So
yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
and it's not even really about money. It's more about just exposure and enjoying the content creation process.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a hell of a lot more fish keepers out there that just they need to come see it. They need to come by. Mexicali has been probably the one in the crew that has been doing it the most, and he's been hitting Instagram lives now. And he's noticed that he's been seeing quite a bit of jumps there also. And with Instagram Live, it could be super casual. I know that I've been doing this hotspot thing for a while. You've been doing your live streams for hellas. I almost couldn't get out of. I didn't want to leave from upstairs, man. It's all cold, and I was nice and warm, and I was like, man, I got to do this. And with Instagram Live, you don't necessarily have to be primed and primed and proper to kind of get out there and get it in.
Well, and it's relatively a new concept, because I notice it because a lot of the people out there's not a whole lot of people live streaming in the fish community. They've been doing it for other topics or whatever you want, but as far as what like in the hobby, there's not too many of them. I follow a lot of people down on Instagram, and it's always kind of the same few that keep popping up. And one of the biggest guys that was out there, he finally ran his last episode this Friday too. So, it's right for the picking right now. I mean,
yeah,
I'm trying it, and it's getting pretty good response.
So I guess the only thing now I'm thinking about it's TikTok. I think as well as Instagram, is there a way that they pay in these people, or is everything, trying to get them not monetized, but ad spaced or something, or try to get them on ads? Is that the way that they're doing? Because you're using popular music. It doesn't seem like they're copywriting you. So if you make something that's 1.6 billion off of a copyrighted song, I can't imagine them trying to give you money for that. But I don't know how it goes.
From what I've heard, the conversations that I've heard about Instagram, the money is not really there as far as getting monetized for your videos. It's through the ad revenue, but it's not nowhere near what YouTube is doing. So that's why you're seeing some of the bigger guys on Instagram kind of trying to move over to YouTube, so that they can get that monetization money from YouTube. And hence why Gordon is doing that. He's one of the guys that's trying to push all his following over to YouTube. So that's the only drawback. Like I said, the only reason I'm doing it is for the exposure, so that I'm thinking the more you become a familiar face, the more likely they're probably willing to follow you down to YouTube. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I know Boss Aquatic does that, and it's worked out for him. I mean, that's kind of where I've heard his advices on it, and I've kind of followed it a little bit. And I haven't been on here for more than a year. January will be a year for me. Okay. And compared to some of the other people that I've seen, I think my channel has grown exponentially quicker than some of these other people that are not taking advantage of all those platforms. So, I mean, I don't know. It could just be luck, or there's something to it. So, but
I'll tell you what, if YouTube is trying to take them out and they're going to pay people for their content, if Instagram and TikTok trying to stay into that dogfight, they may have to do something. If they're not already doing something, I'm not big enough on either one of those to even, I don't know if they ask you to be a part of something like YouTube does after you get a certain amount of whatever, but yeah.
I think Instagram does. I don't know about TikTok. I know, like, I think my daughter did get a notification from them when she kind of blew up. They were like, "Do you want money?" And she said, "Yes, please." I don't know how it works. I mean, I know that with TikTok, there's like a creator pool, and you get a percentage based on your performance and all that. I think Instagram's the same way. And this is why YouTube is going to dominate like they always do, because their strategy for paying people for shorts is very different. And it's going to get better in February. And they're working on ways to be able to bridge the gap between I almost said freshwater and saltwater. I'm so used to talking about that. and long form content, there's to where shorts can actually benefit the channel more than it does now. Because when I see us get subscribers from the shorts, I'm like, I almost feel like that doesn't even count, because that's what those people are looking for. They're not looking for the 15-minute videos that we put out and stuff like that. So I don't know. Apparently, it's going to help work the two together when they get it all said and done. But
man, she made $1,200 her first month monetized.
Yeah.
Holy snap, on TikTok?
Yep. She was doing like spontaneous little TikTok lives and would make like $200 in 30 minutes. Just walking around the house. It was weird.
That's crazy. Yeah. I guess that's why my students swear by TikTok. They just, every chance they get, they're trying to do my problem with them is none of it's original. And I like, you guys have all this talent. You guys are on the dance team. You guys are on the cheerleading. Why don't y'all just come up with your own rendition to something and then put that out there? Maybe that might be a little something.
Who knows? What's LC need me to help him out with? Him or her?
LC is 18-year-old kid. I had him showcased as future fish keeper in the hobby, and he's pretty erratic about it. He loves this fish stuff.
I don't know what he's asking me to help out with.
Me either. LC, he's asking. You got the big guy. I'll help him with followers.
We knew that was coming, didn't we? Well, if you're asking for a shout out or whatever, I don't do that. And basically, I will not shout somebody out if they ask me to. I didn't shout you out. You didn't ask me to. I found you. I thought you were entertaining. I shouted you out. and we've become friends. That's that. I mean, that's how I do it. I will absolutely not do it for people who ask. And I'm not being a jerk. It's just like, it's not, shout outs and all that kind of stuff don't really help anyway. So make good content and people will watch it.
There it is. You
I
heard
know
it
that
from
makes
the
me
man.
sound like a jerk, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really on your channel. What I mean, what?
He's 18.
Drew's like, here John goes.
I'm not come up here for this.
Shout out somebody that I don't know, and I can't do that. I'm not for hire. You can't buy me.
If you show up at Aquashella and you have a pretty puppy, he'll definitely take it away from you.
Might get the dog back.
me throwing that little short up, I think I had like 800 something. Everybody.
Kasha was so amazed by that because she was like, when I first took Banana, Kasha was like, "Oh, she's not going to go with you. Like, she's going to have that dog is Kasha's baby. Like, it's the most pampered dog in the world, and she's adorable. She should be, but." She was like, she's never going to go with you. I was like, I just want to take her for a walk. She's never going to go. And then away I went, and she was perfectly fine. I think it kind of hurt Kasha's feelings because she thought, "Who likes me?" Like, no, they all like me too.
I like the second one when you were like, when I was like, what's this dog mixed with? Like half rat or don't you dare talk about this dog like this. And then you just turned to the other dog, was like, hey, look at this precious little. And then Kasha's dog was like, arr, arr, hey. It's like, you see how he leaves you? You see how he leaves you?
Hey, you want my attention? Have a dog. You will get my attention. Have a cat if you want Lisa's attention.
You were super offended when I was like, hey, man, aren't you a cat person? You was like, hey, how dare you?
I like cats too. We got 7 of them.
Yeah, you guys got a lot going on. Toski discovered Fishy Biz through Simple Fish Keeping series, which was freaking awesome.
Well, it's John's fault that I became Aquafunk's friend.
Is it?
Because, he shouted him out on a live stream I was watching. He goes, you need to go check him out. He played a little short clip of Aquafunk's videos, and it was, high energy and all this. And I said, all right, I'll go sub. Went and subbed, and then started following John and Aquafunk. And that, the rest of the story there. But it's all because of John. It's John's fault.
Hey, sorry about that.
He accidentally gets people put together without them even trying. Bumblebee cichlid with a female Mbuna. How does that sound, KG? Sounds like more Mbuna. Yellow Mbunas.
Bumblebees are notorious for being jerks. And it was a bumblebee with what?
Yellow female Mbuna.
Oh yeah, I mean that could be trouble, and you could get babies too. But bumblebees,
mean, vindictive, vicious babies.
yeah, especially with that bumblebee blood in them. I mean, bumblebees are they can be feisty.
Yeah, facts.
Leslie Perry really needs to know tiger barb tank mates. And here, I know the story of her tiger barbs.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, Leslie. More tiger barbs, but just different color ones. Get the albino one, get the green ones, and you'll be fine.
Orange, the reds. They got some glow tiger barbs out there. I'm about to make bank with these LCs on it. What you smoking on there, El Cordoba?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's a Gloria Cubana.
I don't know.
It's actually, no, it's a Aroma de Cuba. It's pretty good. I got a sampler pack.
John, you've worked your way off of. You still vape or anything like that still?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I still do all of it. I'm a complete loser.
I haven't seen you take a tote to this whole time. I was like, oh shoot.
Because I lean away so you can't see it.
Okay, very nice. Series didn't go away, Toski. It actually, it was. What happened with that? It did what it did when it did it, and then if we were going to preempt it again, it would just have to.
If you want me to be honest with you, that series bombed for us. I mean, if it worked well for y'all, that's great. I mean, that's a really cool thing. But
yeah,
for us and for Jason, it bombed hard, and I don't know why. I mean, I see all of these other niches throughout YouTube, and they collaborate with each other, and it works, and it's beautiful. For whatever reason, it doesn't work. At least with us, it doesn't work in our community, and it breaks my heart because I want to have everybody on my channel, but for whatever reason, if I have a guest on my live stream, it's a nightmare. Like nobody watches it, especially if it's Bob. If I bring people in on the channel, it's just, I don't know why it doesn't work, and it bothers me. It may work for them, and if that's the case, then that's great. But for us, that series tanked hard. Like, and this is what I do for a living. So for me, I have to look at that and I have to be like, all right, this is bad. Like, it's really, really hurting us. And I actually had 5 of them filmed, and I scrapped the last 2 because it was like, I can't keep doing this to our channel. Our channel's going to die if I keep doing this. And
that's
it hurt
crazy. You had some, man. What you had? MDs? You had Serp on there, designs. You had some pretty.
Tanner, we had Joey, we had Aquarium Info, we had Jason, we had you. I mean, we had a lot of heavy hitters, and
Wow.
I mean, none of them complained, but it was bad for us. I don't even know why. And Aquarium Info was on it. She had 20,000 subscribers when she did that with us, and now she's the biggest channel in our niche. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It
Yeah,
had nothing to do with being on my channel. I'm just saying.
yeah.
It's
I
crazy how
mean,
that works.
I put out 3 of them, and those were some of my bigger viewed videos, of course. I mean, which I expected from my end. I didn't know you guys were bombing that hard.
I can't explain why. I mean, I guess it's, we have like, I don't even know how many videos, so many. And people get to know Lisa and I, and they're like, I don't want to see all these other people. I came to this channel for you.
It's just like what they like. They're used to. They got you on watch. I'm here to see John and Lisa, and that's it.
So that's why I say for somebody in our position, it didn't work well. But in your position, I'm sure it did work well. I mean, that's good. I mean, that's what we wanted. But I thought it would do a little better for us.
Right. You like Frontosa?
Oh, yeah. If you don't, there's a problem with you.
Yes, invest your money back into your videos. You're only 18. Do it. Do it now. Get you
It's
some
not going
good-
to happen fast.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old, and I've got one of those. They expect things to happen so fast, and it's funny. I still have it on pause. I was watching a interview of Casey Neistat, which everybody knows I'm a fanboy of him, and if you're not a fanboy of him, that's also something that's wrong with you. And the first thing he said in the interview is people don't understand patience anymore. They see people blow up and they're like, well, that should happen to me if I do a video, and it doesn't work that way. And, Lisa and I are going on 11 years on this YouTube thing. I mean, yeah, there has been some people that have blown up fast, like MD Fish Tanks and Aquarium Info, Luke's Goldies. But those people are an anomaly. Those people are like the elite of the elite that do that, and most of us are not the elite of the elite. You know, the overwhelming majority of us are not the elite. So, you know, for us mere mortals, we have to have patience, and that's not something. Again, having teenagers of my own, that's not something that they usually possess. So,
and with me teaching at least 116 of them daily, it sucks. That patience so bad. You know, I did a 9-minute video that I'm supposed to be putting out here shortly of me in the classroom getting them to set up their basic tank. And I know I left some stuff out, and I tried to clean it up by putting it in words as I was going through. But while I was talking to them, for them not to be on their phones and actually listen intently on what I was saying, I had to bring them in there on my lunch break, because I know if I had even 6 more students in there, I wouldn't have been able to get a word in edgewise. But, you know, for them to still listen, for them to actually, you know, remember what they heard because they came back in the next day to set up their tanks. It was, they were like, you're going to give us like 2 different types of liquid, right? A water conditioner and then the good bacteria, right? And you're going to give us the dirty water, which actually has good bacteria in it also. Where is it? I was like, well, I just gave you the Fritz 7, which is the actual good bacteria that you're going to use. Yeah, but you said you was going to give me dirty water with that in it. I was like, you know, you don't need to take that with you now. You know, I'll get it to you later. But you had said, oh, God damn it. I know. Okay. Stop listening to what I said. Listen to what I'm saying. But when they get into it, they get into it. And I just hate the fact, and like you said, John, I'm gonna have to and Mexicali did this when I asked, you know, what something that you would like to say to the students. You got to let them know that it's okay if something dies. It don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. It's gonna happen.
I use the baseball analogy. Baseball is a game of failure. I mean, and the best players in the game fail most of the time. So, you know, you have to look at this the same way. I mean, any fish keeper that's been doing this longer than 5 minutes has had a fish die at some point. And
I had 2 just a few seconds ago.
Yeah, there's no way around it. I mean, it sucks. It's the worst part of the hobby, especially in the beginning. But it's even worse when you know what you're doing and then they die. You're like, how did I miss that? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a struggle. And if you don't have patience and you don't do this right, you're going to deal with that a lot. And so that's why I like what you're doing. I mean, I think it's smart to get them in and get them in the right way.
And look, you know, those arowana that popped out of your tank where you just were like, what the hell? Did you see what happened to Caveman Aquatics, his black diamond?
I saw the beginning of the video and I was like, oh, wow. Because I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't remember why, but I thought he was clickbaiting because that happens a lot. Not with him, but
not with him.
You know, you see clickbaiting a lot where people are like, my fish died, but really, or they leave.
I saw his face and I was like, this dude's serious, because I have never seen this. He's always a happy guy. He's a Libra like me. We're a jovial zodiac.
And you know what? The first thing I thought of when I saw that was balls. That takes balls to do that, because most people would just act like they never had that and it never happened. And you know, that's the way I've always tried to be. If I make a mistake, I try to
sweep it under the rug. It never happened.
I mean, people like that do it people do it all the time, and you just never know. But
yeah,
I try to be transparent, and you know, hey, I'm a dumbass. My fish jumped out of the tank. I mean, I made a video all about how much of a dumbass I am.
Yeah, I mean, once you own it, and you know, I think people respect it a little bit more when you do that. Like, you're not going to buy a black diamond ray, and I don't think we're going to forget about it. But like, my students were asking, what should we name our guppies? Nothing. You should name it, they die. Don't do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Those are their names.
Wait till you get them in there.
Right. Good luck trying to remember which one's which.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody in here real quick that under ticker on the bottom, I am collecting from my students turkeys. I will be giving them out on Monday and Tuesday of next week before they go out on break. Anything that you give, your name will go into a random wheel ticker, and we are giving away six $50 gift cards to Consolidated Fish Farms in Florida. Dan, the man down there, he has some great stock with fish, food, everything. So definitely check that out if you are doing that. Next thing I want to do is I actually want to show you my video before I put it out. John, you got time for this? Like,
You see me yawning? Like I'm crashing hard here. I didn't even realize it's 11:30. So much fun. So I am going to have to bail out because I don't want to be that guy that fell asleep during the live stream.
I appreciate you, John, man. Thanks for popping in.
It'll go viral. That's one thing for sure.
What's that?
It'll go viral.
I mean, you want me to do it just so it'll go viral for you? All down and everything. All right, but it's been fun. I appreciate it, and I'll holler at you.
John, you're always welcome. Thanks for stopping.
Nice to meet you, John.
See y'all.
Peace. All right. And then there were two. All right. I'm going to show you guys this, and I think it'll be cool. So you guys let me know afterwards what you think. I was going to do a premiere and not come up here, but I couldn't do that. So I'm going to do this. Plus, Mexicali was like, I'll come up. And I was like, cool. You want to just run the whole damn thing? No, I'll just come up. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right, what's cracking YouTube? It's your boy The Biz right here in the classroom. You know, Mr. Clark here. So I got 3 of my first students that are going to take their tanks home. They're going to get a crash course on how to set their tank up right here. That's the principal's daughter. She's right really into it. We're going to start them off. All right, so first thing, ladies, when you guys get your tank, whatever it is, we've been having these sitting, so there's probably a little dust, a little dirt in there. The first thing that you guys got to do is to rinse out your tank, okay? Now, you rinse out your tank with just water. No soap, no bleach, just water. It could be warm water, okay? And you can take a small, soft cloth and wipe it down, but just rinse it out with just water. Anything left after just water, it should be fine. Reasons why you don't use soap, the reason why you don't use bleach is because even though you think you rinsed it out really well, it still stays on there because you guys know you're going to have it filled up, and it's going to be filled up for most of the life of the tank. You don't want any of those bubbles or anything to kill the fish. All right, we'll do a bag full of dirty water. All right, I'll squeeze out a sponge filter like this. All right, and you will take some dirty water with you. All right, you'll have a bag full of this. Why are you taking dirty water with you? Well, including that dirty water, I will put in some fresh bacteria. All right, the bacteria is what you need to cycle your tank so that these fish can live. Okay, there's bad bacteria, there's also good bacteria. Okay, you need the good bacteria for your fish to survive. All right, if you did not have good bacteria in these new tanks, they would die because they would have to get fresh bacteria by themselves. Technically, between us, it would normally take a month for you guys to cycle your tanks without fish to get good bacteria. Sometimes you can use a fish, sometimes you can put food in the tank. It's different ways that you used to do it back in the day. But nowadays, we have real bacteria. I'll just pour it into your dirty water, and when you fill up your tank, you put that water in there, and that'll help cycle your tank very fast. All right, because you guys want to get these fish the day of. The next thing you guys need to know how to do is when you guys get your fish, you got to properly attach your sponge filter. Now, the sponge filter are going to be like the ones that you see in the 55-gallon over there. going to look like this. All right. It's going to have a suction cup on the back, and it's going to have, these are your 2 sponges. Now, these 2 sponges are what's going to collect all the debris out of your tank, and then it's going to push out better water. Okay? Wherever the front of your fish tank is that you want, you're going to attach this here, and it has an air line here that I'm going to give you air line to go with. All right? You're going to attach the hose into here, and that's going to attach to an air pump that you're going to receive. Okay? Once that hose goes into here and then into the air pump, make sure that your fish tank is by an outlet. So now you will have your filter going. And what it'll look like is it'll start pushing water out like that, except it'll push it out of here. Okay? The next thing that you guys are going to get, besides the air pump and the suction and the water, is of course you're going to, in a 10-gallon tank, what kind of fish can you put in? How many fish can you put in is usually the question. You guys want to get as many inches of fish as your tank is. So for example, real quick math lesson. If this is a 10-gallon tank and you're getting 2-inch fish and you can't go over 10, how many fish can you get? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. I quit. All right. So, with that being said, these are smaller tanks. If you guys are able to take care of smaller tanks, you guys should be able to take care of larger tanks. So when you guys come back next year, after these fish look good and healthy and still are living, I'll see if I can get you guys some bigger tanks to get bigger fish. Okay? So we'll try this out. Now, if you guys get a Danios look like they could be about 2.5 inches. All right? Rummy nose, about the same size. Now, guppies, you can go maybe 1.5 inch to 2. And then we have some smaller Danios. All right? And in the platy,
I need to get some more lights.
I use
that one light
almost 2.5 inches
to
there.
light up
And you
all
can
the
kind of
plants
gauge
in all
it.
3 of those tanks.
I would think the total you'd be able to get about 5 fish. Okay? 5 or 6, so the smaller fish. So we're talking about a platy, and all of these you can mix and match. So we're talking about a platy, some of those purple Danios, maybe a rummy nose, long fin Danio, and these guppies over here also.
I gotta get some more light.
Okay? So you really
So
can't
I have
take
live
the fish.
plants in all 3 of those tanks.
You'll be able to get snail
I
seals.
leave
Don't take
one
up a lot of space in your
on one for the day, and then at night I put it on the next one, and then I put it on the other one for the next day.
Yeah,
Smaller
but
golden
you got
snail.
mostly what, like Anubiuses and stuff like that?
They'll be able
Yeah,
to-
low levels, yeah.
Yeah, your ambient light should be able to grow.
So you're gonna get
Oh, well.
From the plastic?
Well, they're definitely growing, so.
You guys shouldn't really get if you guys are doing your water changes, which brings us
Dude, there you can get some inexpensive under cabinet lights and
So,
stick them under
put your
those cabinets you
siphon.
have there, and they should be
This
more than enough light.
siphon completely into the water.
Right.
Okay, to do your water change. When you do your water change,
I was
you don't
tripping
want
off
to
the
do anything
siphons.
more than
They're,
about
these
10
kids aren't going to be doing too much, but about maybe 10, 12.
Your tank shouldn't be getting that.
With
The
those
max,
type
50,
yeah,
Yeah.
for those 10
And
gallons,
then
usually what the
put a
best
squeeze.
method is just to get a bucket and a
Plastic
little
cup.
cup.
yeah,
Yeah.
plastic cup. Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm over here trying to get them siphons, and I was looking at it like they're not going to be siphoning that much water out.
All right. Now notice that this siphon is working perfectly.
And plus, I got them the
All right,
big.
You're going to siphon down to about 10%.
They got the 20-gallon
10, 15,
filters
sometimes 20. Just
on a 10-gallon tank. They shouldn't have to worry about
Well,
it.
Flip it on out.
and the reason why the bucket works for a 10 gallon is because if you fill the bucket, you know that you did a 50% water
When you
change.
siphon out your
Yeah,
tank,
for
that'll
sure.
be a perfect way for you guys. Okay, and when we're talking about 10 or 15, let's say this is completely filled up as 100, of course. Halfway is 50, okay? Going up a little bit more is 60, 75, okay? And then total to 100. So 10, 15, you're not talking more than out here, okay? You want to refill your tank up with fresh water. Now remember, when you refill your tank up with fresh water, what must you do to the water? You're going to get some additional. You also are going to get some conditioner for your water. All right. Okay. So this is what you use a small amount of, and you'll get a small amount of this, and you're going to squirt a small amount of this, but you're going to read the instructions for your 10 gallon. Okay. And since you're not replacing all 10 gallons of water, you just do your good judgment. For example, this says use a teaspoon for every 10 gallons. Okay. So if you're doing just 10%, a half a teaspoon will work. But if you did do a teaspoon, it's not going to hurt you. All right. That is going to turn that tap water into fish safe water. This is the bacteria that you're going to do to start your cycle. But this is not water conditioner. You must add both. All right. Let me go back on that. When you add this into your tank that you fill up, you must add your first water conditioner. For 10 gallons, it takes a teaspoon. After that, it'll cycle through. All right. You'll get a bag full of your fish. Okay. So when you leave out of here, you'll have your fish and everything else together. Next thing is decorations. Now I'll go grab a couple more decorations for decor. But you have your choice of multicolored rocks. I have green. I have red. I have pure white. I got all black. So you guys are going to decorate your tanks a little later on this week, hopefully maybe tomorrow. Have it all decorated. I want you guys to also have your filters attached to it, and you'll get your air pump. And I want it all to be ready. And the only thing I want you to do is you're going to collect your fish. So we'll get you a net, and you can go fishing right here in the classroom.
Cool.
All right. Are we good? We good? All right. Everybody got it? All right. So this is going to be on YouTube for you guys. I'll populate it up. I'll send you guys the link, and you guys will be able to see it. When you guys get started doing your tanks, I'll also video record you guys doing that so you can see yourselves create your masterpieces. All right.
Say bye to the camera.
Bye.
Is that also one of your students recording?
Yeah, it was.
You did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did. I was surprised because he is a squirrely kid. God.
Oh, but you gave him a task, so you stayed on task.
Yeah. And the ladies were really into it too, so he was there for it. But yeah, man. So I got a couple of tips from Funk. He wants me to either switch the music up or bring it down a little bit lower, and zoom in on a couple of different parts, which I think he's totally right. And I'll be probably putting that out later on today. If you guys go to my Instagram, I definitely put out one where the students they're actually putting the rocks in their tank, decorating them up, and doing really well with them. I sent one to the Missouri Aquarium Society, and it actually shows them in the hallway, and the young lady that was pretty much kind of like right next to the whole time in the video.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend is coming down the hall, and I was like, dude, that's what your boyfriend's for. Have him take it to the bus or the car or wherever you're going. And she was like, oh my God, it's kind of embarrassing to be holding this tank in the hallway. I was like, hold it with pride. You took time and made that. It's going to be your underwater, this is going to be your underwater beauty. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of that. Be proud of that. And so she started posing with it. So I had to get her. Doing that. So I want to show you guys that also, because I just thought it was super cool. So he's about to come down the hall.
There you go. Nice gentleman.
And I wish I could have got it before this, because before this, everybody was like, because she's kind of popular and everything. So
He's posing for it too.
yeah. So yeah.
Well, it's definitely nice to see these kids smiling.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that was just my 7th hour. So I've got 2nd hour in the morning. I'll get them to decorate their tanks also. I I screwed the pooch. I was supposed to go back to Petco and get a couple more rocks and some more decor.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they'll get a chance to excuse me, decorate their tanks. Of course, I'm gonna have to put them on camera, but thank God I have oh shoot, I got third hour too. When are they coming in? 246. So I still got two more classes of students that are gonna probably take up the bulk of the rest of those tanks. We'll get them home. They're gonna give me pictures. I said I need pictures of your tank setup before I give you fish. That way I can ensure that I'll have pictures for everybody. So you guys can see where all of the labor and the donations and all the hard work go to trying to get these kids to become good fish keepers. So there we go.
All right, Drew. Well, I got to jump off because I got some stuff to do before I got to go to work tomorrow.
Look, you're not the only one. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you all so much. Thank you everybody for donating. I appreciate you all. Garcia, I will call you tomorrow on my lunch break, and we'll chop it up because I am hitting the sack because I got to get up and get the rest of these students together. I appreciate you guys, man. Mexicali, thank you for coming in a pinch, man, and coming up here and keeping me together.
My pleasure.
John, thank you for popping in, man, too. That was a great surprise, man. And everybody in the chat, man, you guys always come through for me. I appreciate you every Monday, man. I'll be right here for you. So with that, I'm going to send everybody on off to bed or work or whatever you guys do at night. Do it to death. Do it and have a good evening. And I'm out.